When we said, I'm tired of talking about the Saints drafting a quarterback, I wish they'd make some news or do something interesting. This is not what we meant. Thomas, hit the intro.
Welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast, always with perfect pronunciation.
Same thing as Demario Thomas. I don't know. Demario Thomas is like...
It's a linebacker and a receiver, and he just mashed them up.
Anyway, Demario Davis, same thing.
Now grab a drink and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of Saints Happy Hour podcast. As always, we are brought to you by Hard Hide Poncho Tool of Strawberry Whiskey. I'm Ralph Marlboro. I'm joined by the whole boat. Andrew, Dave, Kevin, Dave's lovely daughter, Thomas running the show back in Poland. On tonight's show, the Saints and Derek Carr, the separation. It's getting messy, but is it potentially the perfect gift for the Saints? Andrew's going to do his mock draft, and we'll have a mailbag. As always, if we reach $100 in donations, I will drink something horrible the patrons have sent me. Saints Rabbit, Jed, he sent me a gigantic box, and he said, I believe the well of originality is tapped out, but here's cheers to your liver nonetheless. So he sent me a ton of stuff. We got Benjamin 100 proof pineapple, and we got an old classic, Dave, Jägermeister cold brew.
Ew.
As the number one shots. By the way, Thomas, how far are we away from Only Hands? Gets closer and closer.
All right, so as you can see, Hatchet John surprisingly won last week, and we are on an 87-week donation streak. Let's keep it that way. We are 17 weeks away from Ralph opening his sexy Only Hands account with his not so sexy hand.
We are on a Joe Horn winning streak, and we are Jim Everett weeks away.
Nice.
From Only Hands.
We're trying to get to Floyd Turner.
That's right.
I was going to say we're trying to get to Jeremy Shockey.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So Derek Carr has shoulder herpes. And the Saints need their quarterback of the future. Not now, not next year, not tomorrow, but right now. So I was told that the Saints tried to, by my sources, they're not as good as Andrew, but I have a couple. I was told the Saints tried really, really hard to keep this under wraps as long as possible. As stunning a piece of Saints news as I can remember, I got to say this is the biggest Saints surprise offseason news since the 2022 trade with the Eagles for the second first-round pick. Andrew, I'll start with you because me and Kevin had our say on the Breaking News podcast Friday. Thanks for the 1,100 people that downloaded it. We love you. Andrew, your thoughts on Derek Carr? I don't know. He's not playing. He's being a jerk. He's doing car reviews. Just,
yeah. My thoughts are something's rotten in the state of Denmark. I mean, it's very strange. The first thing that my mind goes to is like, what was the timeline of this injury? Because there's conflicting reports there. Is it his throwing shoulder? I was told at one point in March that he wasn't throwing yet because he had a hurt shoulder. So to me, that's okay. Clearly his throwing shoulder. We've heard other reports that it's not his throwing shoulder. It's the other shoulder. We've heard reports that this is a pre-existing injury that happened like in a previous season. So that's been out there. So the timeline of this is weird because it's like, okay, has he just been like rehabbing it and dealing with it for like an extended period of time? And then the whole contract thing plays out and then he gets restructured in March. And then a month later, he's like, did it flare up? Did he pass the physical and then it flared up? Did he say, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like playing anymore for the Saints. Did he pull a Marshawn Lattimore and he's like, yeah, I'm too injured to play. So like, I don't know what's going on.
Dave, is he quiet quitting the Saints? Is Derek Carr quiet?
Yeah, I don't know. Is that what's happening?
Another option could be maybe, I'm just throwing this out. I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just This was a thought that occurred to me. Maybe you've got a new coaching staff in place, and they have their own doctors, because I know the Saints team doctor just went to Denver to go work with Sean. So maybe you've got new doctors, and maybe they looked at Carr and they were like, "Wait a minute, this is no good. Maybe this is another case where the Saints medical staff isn't picking up on things that maybe they should be picking up on."
If we liked Derek Carr, wouldn't we be blaming the medical staff for this?
Yes.
I'm still I'm still prepared to blame the medical staff, and Derek Carr is disappointing me. So I got no problem. Listen, here's an interesting factoid about me, Ralph. I am fully capable of blaming and hating a lot of people. So I am
Blame pie is big and held land.
I am fully capable of despising the healthcare team attached to the Saints, attached to the Pelicans, attached to whoever's responsible for the health and well-being of the athletes on the teams owned by Gail Benson. I'm fully capable of despising them. I'm also capable of being pissed at Derek Carr and his family and whoever sent him that stupid highlight video that he put out of himself like a month ago when he was back in Fresno or whatever. I contain multitudes, Ralph, and they're all equally capable of vast amounts of hate.
Dave, isn't it a little bit weird that, like, Derek Carr, in the age of social media where players have Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all of it, he won't take 25 seconds out of his day to be like, "Hey, Who Dat Nation, yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm working on it. I'm not giving up on 2025. I'll give you an update later on, but it's don't give up on me yet. I'm still going to try to play. I'm fighting through it. We'll see what's what. I'll give you an update later on." Like, he said nothing. Like, am I just blowing that out of proportion? I find that really
right.
weird.
No, because last season, remember, he was, it wasn't a lot. It was a little bit, and it seemed like it was, sort of calculated. But remember last off season, he made a few jokes on Twitter. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
The schedule release, he made some jokes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was some. You're right. There hasn't really been much. I really don't think Derek Carr likes New Orleans. I don't think he likes it here. I have no idea what's been said between him and the new coaching staff, but I think it's entirely possible, like Andrew's surmised, that he doesn't want to be here, and now this injury just popped up, and it's curious timing. I don't know. I don't know, but The Derek Carr New Orleans relationship, look, this was never going to work out. This was never a match. We knew it. We knew it at the beginning. I think some of us were okay admitting it. I think some of us were lying to ourselves, and we thought maybe this would work out. But I don't think this is it.
Yeah, I mean, look. I think if this podcast, I feel like this is Achilles' last stand. I feel like this podcast
That's right.
has covered Carr in a more balanced and fair way than pretty much anyone. And if we're starting to turn on him, then it really is over, because I feel like we're the only ones that ever really stuck up for him. But yeah, I mean, again, this whole thing is weird. He made it clear to the team at some point prior to the restructure that he wanted to be traded, that he wanted to be released, that he wanted to be gone. He did not want to be back with the Saints. And the Saints, from what I can tell, were like, "Nah, we're keeping you." So it's hard to read the tea leaves here. It's very confusing because to some degree, the Saints have done a really good job, and Carr too, of keeping their mouth shut and not negotiating through the media. But Carr never seemed like a good fit in New Orleans. And I have to say, like, if I'm putting myself in his shoes, the way it ended, like, it's kind of crazy. If you go back to the last play that he had as a Saints quarterback, the dude's like And we talked about that on this podcast. Like, we talked about how stupid it was to put his body on the line like that for a yard to get that
On
first
second
down.
down.
I remember Dave ranting just like,
On
get
second
out of
down.
bounds, live to see another day, and go for it on fourth down if you have to. And Dave went nuts about how crazy that was. But I think if I'm Carr, just trying to put myself in his shoes, he's probably thinking, here I am, like, diving for a first down, putting my body on the line, like doing whatever I can for this team, for this organization. And then, like, on the other side of that play, I get injured, and then the whole fan base is just killing me. And I think he's like, F this place. I want out. Like, I'm done. I don't like the city. I don't like the fans, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's not what's going on, but I can't help but feel like if that's how he feels, like, he's going about this all wrong. And he really has gone about this all wrong from the very start.
Well, I will say that I defended him on the jump. That scramble where he got injured. I know I was, because when we were texting about that, and the talk was, oh, everybody was against it. I was like, I was thinking to myself, like, I don't remember being against it. I'm pretty sure I was like, hey, I can appreciate a guy trying to get the first down. Like, yeah, it might have been second down.
Respect for you definitely can't question his toughness.
Here's my
right.
thing. Here's my thing.
But to piggyback off of what you were saying about, hey, maybe he goes out and he gets hurt and sees the fans, like, finally notices the fans, like, oh, sort of like happy that he got hurt, and they're ready to see the backup come in, and maybe he just says, fuck it. So maybe the problem isn't his toughness. Maybe it's something in here.
Right.
Or maybe it's something here.
Dave, I have a question for you.
This is an audio podcast. Nobody.
Okay, fine. Sorry. I have to explain what I'm pointing at my head. Either it's something up there in his head, or it's something it's his heart. It's either his head or his heart. He can't seem to rise up to the moment. Like, it wasn't going to be easy. It wasn't. Everybody knows Jameis, quote unquote, Jameis was the one that succeeded Drew Brees. Okay, Jameis got what, a year?
Not even really, because he got hurt.
But so they bring you in as the guy that's like, no, this is the real full-time. This is going to be the guy. We're gonna make something with this guy, and that's, Peyton's gone, Drew is gone, whole new era, and it's going to be headlined by Derek Carr. Bright lights, big city. Man. You have to be the successor.
Here's my question.
Maybe he just couldn't handle it.
Dave, if that is Derek Carr's final play for the Saints, the second down leap to nowhere, it's the perfect embodiment of everything wrong with the Saints the last 3 years of the post-Peyton era. So much effort, so much money for so little of a result.
Yeah, great. It's a great analogy. Well done.
But here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this, if I said to you, go to Vegas and put money, Derek Carr, over, under, he's going to play a half a play for the Saints more in his career, would you bet the over or would you bet the under? Is he done for the Saints? Do you think it's a wrap?
I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he plays next season for the Saints. I really don't see how that's tenable or possible at this point. the report, let's remember, like the report right now is that he may be done based on this injury. I would assume that's if he elects to get surgery. Could he rehab this? Is it his left shoulder? Could he play through this? Is it possible that, he'd be able to start some games this season? I don't really see a path where they're getting rid of him this year, right? So unless he goes on injured reserve, like I think they're kind of stuck with him this year, and he's on the team. So
well, yeah, and they cut him. They either cut him next year or post June 1st cut him next year.
But doesn't a post June 1st cut doesn't mean anything?
Well,
right?
Yeah, it does. It does, because if they cut him before June 1st, like all of his dead money, which would next year would be like, I want to say 60 million in guarantees, it all hits the cap next year, right? Or it might even be 70 million, 60 million in dead money. They'd get 10 million in cap space back. Or they can cut him post June 1st and break it into two, half of the dead money next year, half of it in 2027. So it would be like 30 million and 30 million. And you would get like $30 million in cap space back, but you wouldn't get it until June, right? So it's sort of, it's half a dozen, one or the other. But the thing is, that's why I think, Andrew, they wouldn't acquiesce to his trade demands or release him, because they were like, listen, man, if we trade or release you, it's a nuclear bomb on our cap. We're not doing that just to make you happy. Like, we're going to restructure you and get rid of your terrible contract in stages, and we don't really care what you want. And I think
I have a hard time. I mean, we'll see how it all plays out. I feel like we'll get some more information, and eventually we'll understand the timeline a little better. And, hopefully after the draft, right? I think the Saints are keeping quiet and mum's the word because they want to get through the draft and make sure they do that process. And on the other side of it, I think, they will talk to the press, and hopefully we will get some more answers on the situation. But like, I have a hard time believing, and maybe this is me tinfoil hat here, that if Derek Carr had been released, that this shoulder injury would prevent him from signing with the team. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the shoulder injury was happening either way, and maybe this would have prevented him from playing this year for anyone, period. But I have a hard time believing that this shoulder injury manifests as season ending if he's a free agent this offseason.
I don't know if this is like, I don't know how to say this, but I'll try to say it, and it may get me in trouble, but I'm going to say it anyway. Andrew, you can just ignore it and not hop in with your sources and all that. But my Saints sources that I have, the good ones that I have never seen legitimate Saints sources that I have be so willing to embrace conspiracy theories as they are with Derek Carr. Like, they're like, something is not right with this. I don't trust it. We don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Even people in the building.
I'm still not sure I follow.
People in the building were like, no one knew. The trainers didn't even know until it got out on social media. Like, it just seems really, it just seems really, really strange that so many, there's a lot of people in the Saints building that didn't know what the hell was going on. And that makes it a really strange situation, because you know this, Andrew. So a lot of times, like, sources would be like, yeah, we kind of knew that all along. We just waiting for it to come out. Like, what was the old Larry Holder thing? I was saving it for a rainy day, where they would, like, after the season, they would like dump a bunch of stuff, and they'd be like, yeah, we knew that. We didn't get that with this. People were like, I was stunned. So it was just, it's very strange. But
why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Thomas just has that in the holster, like, unready to go.
I have something here. So all this, the conspiracy theories, and I don't think he's really that hurt, or it's not really that serious. I guess It's not so much that I am prepared to trust Derek Carr. It's that if he's lying, if he's exaggerating this hurts him and his legacy.
Yeah.
Far more than if he was hurt and it flared up, or if he got injured doing doing the laundry or something, or maybe he was out skiing with one of his brothers or whatever on one of those ski trips that they put up on Instagram, and maybe he snowballed himself. I don't know, but I just don't believe that he would make this up, with the risk being this guy is a complete fraud and you cannot trust him. If you can't trust the guy at quarterback just as a human being,
yeah,
you're not bringing him in for anything. Like, this is like disgrace type stuff.
Well,
this would affect.
I'm not suggesting. So, Kevin, I'm not suggesting that it's like that he's faking, that there's nothing injured. But I guess, like, to make this more nuanced, do you think it's possible that? So we know he's been playing through a ton of things over the last few years: the broken ribs, the oblique injury, the shoulder injury. Like, he's had so many injuries since he's been with the Saints. And to his credit, he's fought through a lot of them, and he's played very banged up, and like where he could barely move during the week, and he found a way to get there and play on Sunday. And a lot of times he played pretty good. And is it possible that he has some shoulder thing, that it's been there, that he's been playing through it, and because of the treatment he got from the most recent injury where fans were cheering and calling him an idiot, he's like, yeah, like, I'm done with that. Like, I could play through this, but I'm not going to, because this is the kind of treatment I get.
Dave, now that the Saints are probably going to need a quarterback, we turn to the draft. And we'll get to Andrew's mock draft second half of the show. But the Saints, Dave, under Loomis, for good or bad, whatever you feel of it, they don't tank. They don't write off the seasons. They just don't do that. So my question to you, Dave, are the Saints going to do something aggressive, rash, whatever you want to call it, to get a veteran, to get a quarterback in the draft that they feel great about? Like, are they just going to be like, oh, we'll get Rattler and we'll ride it out with the second round pick or whatever? Or is Mickey Loomis going to be like, no, we're still trying to win the South. Get Aaron Rodgers in here. Get a veteran quarterback. Get Teddy Bridgewater. We're doing something. We're not just going to take it and win 3 games. We're not doing that. What are they going to do? What do you think you don't have to give me a name or anything, but what do you think the direction that they're going to go at quarterback is going to be?
I really don't know. I mean, maybe they like, I really hate when you like that. I really don't like it. We don't know. Maybe they like Rattler. Maybe they like the guys in the building already. Maybe, again, they've built up a little cushion of cap space that they haven't spent. They've got, this money burning a hole in their pocket, and they've kept it in their pocket. They haven't spent it yet. So that could be a sign of something. I'm not sure what. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to spend on a quarterback. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do something with it this offseason. But I really don't know. I have no idea. I don't even have a feel for it, because Kellen Moore this is all brand new. This is an X factor. The one thing I'll say is whatever Kellen Moore is doing, I'm trusting the mantra is, for me, trust the process. I'm trusting the process.
Kevin?
And again, it might not be
That's surprisingly optimistic from you, Dave.
It is.
Well, I mean,
Kevin, I have a question for you. What would make fans
Don't let him bully you, son.
What?
Wait, hold on. Are you going off on? Are you asking a separate random question to Kevin? Are you switching gears a little bit here? I need to add something to the rundown here. I didn't add it to the rundown.
Well, shut up!
Mostly because I didn't get a rundown because Ralph didn't send out a rundown.
It's just Andrew's drafting Derek Carr. What else were we going to talk about? Jesus, I mean, what?
But I was going to text this to you guys, but then I thought it would be better just to break it to you here on the podcast. So you guys are going to love this story. You're going to love this. So this weekend, I'm
Aaron
at this.
Bregman.
No, my God, that should be physically impossible to happen. So I'm at this. I'm at the 7th annual Old Metairie Leg Quarter Cook-Off, which is this a block party that has grown to be pretty darn big over in Old Metairie on Ridgewood, and it's an entire block of 100 people out there on their front lawns with tents and cooking their version of a quarter leg, 40 different teams, smokers, grills, all this kind of stuff, and a lot of everybody from the neighborhood, friends, families. Every year it's grown. They've got a band that plays, so I'm out there and I'm having fun, having a beer. I get a tap on my shoulder. Gentleman, he looks a little bit older than me, maybe in his 50s, maybe. And he says, "You don't know me." And he's kind of running around. He looks like he's busy. I think he's on the team. He's cooking. I do not recognize this guy. He taps me on the shoulder. He says, "Look, I got to run. You don't know me. I just got to say one thing, and then I got to get out of here. Got to have that guac." And then he runs away, and then he just walks away. I shit you not. I shit you not. So he must be a listener of the podcast, obviously. I don't know who he is. I don't know. Day. Yeah, I'm
gonna just blame someone on DA just cause.
Just a quick hit and run.
The only thing that would make me happier this year is when I'm walking through the airport. If people would yell at me, "Gotta have that guac," is if they start yelling at me, "Only hands," when I'm walking through the airport to go to Saints game. Final question before we get to Andrew's mock draft, and you can all answer, but I really want to ask this to Kevin because I think it may get a good response at him. Kevin, what will make Saints fans more disappointed? Passing on Shedeur Sanders or Derek Carr actually plays in 2025?
Oh. What will disappoint them?
More.
The most?
Passing on Shedeur or actually having to watch Derek Carr?
Right, but I want to make sure that's the word you use, disappoint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if it's disappointment, then I would say passing on Shedeur, because I feel like if Derek Carr somehow can play, disappointment is not the word.
I don't think it's going to take too many weeks of Spencer Rattler and Jay Kaner for Saints fans to be like, yeah, I'll take another look at Derek.
They'll be like, maybe he can come back off Idor.
Yeah. Look, listen, you said that.
Derek, just come back for the Falcons game, win us that, and then you can go back on IR.
Look, Rattler went, what, 0-7?
That's correct.
He went 0-7, and there's people on Twitter that are still saying, that the previous season shouldn't be counted against him.
Dave's kids.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I guess kudos that his mic is good enough that it can pick that up. Or his kids are really that loud. I don't know.
Should I mute him or what?
Yeah, mute him.
Yeah, go on ahead and mute him.
Can y'all get my stuff?
Go ahead and mute. Oh, wait. Never mind,
I'll
he's back.
mute him now.
Dave, mute your mic. My God. I'm hearing your whole family have a conversation.
And now he's
Nope,
muted.
can't hear you, Dave.
Oh, sorry. I said I'm sorry. I usually do. I always mute it when I leave or walk away. And Kevin, also, here's a tip. I also mute when I eat.
Yeah, people are wondering why, Kevin, you're not eating vociferously tonight.
I had my protein shake. I managed to get home in time to make my protein shake.
Oh, that's nice.
Prior to coming on the show, so I'll have a little something after the show.
A little something, huh?
Yeah, just a little something, like a little snack.
Little
snack.
Snacky, nighttime snacky poo.
Yeah.
So Before we get to Andrew's mock draft, I want to say Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is a strawberry.
Is Dave still trusting the process with his hairline?
You boy are 20 Buckaroo. Interception!
Good
Getting
one.
out closer to our goal. And also thanks to Jason Champagne for the earlier donation of 12.83 Buckaroos with donation message for when your car won't start.
I'm surprised that message was so vicious, Dave. I'm surprised it wasn't from Oppenheimer.
No, that was a good one. But
Yeah, Oppenheimer, where you
tr-
at, man? We need you.
I do trust that the hair that I do have left is holding on and pretty strong. So
There you go.
Kevin's the one that should be worried.
Yeah, it's sneaking up. It's sneaking up from behind, and it's just gonna creep. It's gonna spread out, and I can't give a full diagram because I can't see what I'm doing. But it's starting back here, and it's just gonna, it's gonna Hulk Hogan out.
Oh my God.
That looks terminal. I give you like 2 years.
Jesus.
So I'll tell you what's not terminal. Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. It is a strawberry flavored whiskey blended with aged wheat whiskey, American light whiskey, Cocktail and Sons, strawberry and lemon syrup, fresh strawberries from Jonesdale Farm in Ponchatoula, Louisiana. It's 86 proof. The whiskey is blended and bottled at the Sugarfield Distillery in Gonzales, Louisiana. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey is supporting Saints Happy Hour all football season long. So support the people who support the show. Grab a bottle of Hardhide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey today. All right. So now we got to get to Andrew's mock draft. People hated my mock draft. They actually liked
Or not.
The only Grand Slam for Carr is at Denny's. Congrats, Rory.
Who not go for a 50 Buckaroo super chat? We are less than one
great.
interception
Thank you.
away.
Thank
All
you,
right, so-
Hudak Golfer. Can we talk about the Masters? Can we have a
30
Masters?
seconds. Go ahead.
Did you guys watch it at all?
I dropped in for the playoff hole.
That's it.
That's it.
Nah, you missed all the drama. It was high drama. That was my God. That was television. That was put it in the Louvre, as you like to say. If there was a Louvre for moving pictures.
The best thing about the Masters, I didn't watch it Sunday, but I watched it a bunch Saturday. The thing that is incredible about the Masters is the Masters doesn't allow commercials. So once
they allow it. They only allow for like 3 or 4 minutes of commercials per hour.
Carr over 2-lane every day of the week.
Oppenheimer! Two-lane hater! Getting us over the edge. The streak is alive.
Interrupted Masters minute.
So yeah. So what are we gonna do?
16 weeks to go.
Not even a question, Ralph. Don't even ask. Don't even ask.
Ugh.
Don't even ask.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'll make this promise because I think Saints Rabbit. I think there's another one in here. I'll make a commitment to you people. Draft night, if the Saints trade down and you hit $100 in donation, I'll do this and a Malort. If the Saints trade down,
Mixed? Oh shit!
I'll do one.
What is that? Is that Jaeger?
It's coffee brew Jaeger.
Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
Puke meter is on and
My new
switch-
haircut.
All right, he's bracing.
Anyway.
He's bracing
My
for
new
impact.
That's
Anyway, the Masters was great. It had it all.
Masters was fantastic. I discovered betting on golf for the first time, and it made it.
You get
so
great
much
odds.
enjoyable. I put $10 on Auberg, and it would have paid out $1,000 if it had hit. And at one point, he was tied for the lead with
it makes it real interesting to watch.
Yes, it does.
I
was
am not
living and dying with what's his name? Helvig.
Yeah, it's like
what was it? Auberg.
You learned some German.
Albert.
Yeah. Anyway,
It's like betting on a slow horse race.
In the Masters in my life, so betting on golf was very fun. I learned.
It was great. I was rooting for chaos, and I got chaos because Rory missed a couple of putts, sent it to the playoffs. But if you're a Rory lover, you got to see him redemption. Good story.
Yeah.
I am not a golf person in the slightest. Anybody that knows me knows I have had I mostly detest golf, but I like the story of the guy who couldn't put it together, who would choke in the big moment. Choking and then not failing, like coming back from that and succeeding and triumphing. And I love
you got it all in one tournament. You got it all in one round.
I loved I loved the jubilation, like the throwing the golf club in the air, the throwing the hat, the like just dropping to his knees and sobbing on the green. And then like I watched that video of him sinking the putt, hugging everybody, and then making that long walk back to the clubhouse. Like I loved that. I loved how they let he hugs his wife, he hugs his daughter. Those are all great moments. And he's shaking hands of all the previous winners and like the club management or whatever, and then everybody kind of just like falls behind him, and he just makes this long walk by himself as he's trying not to look at anybody directly in the face, because he's just like so caught up in the moment or so overwhelmed by the moment, and everybody's screaming his name and chanting his name. It's just a beautiful thing.
Did you guys see Scheffler putting the green jacket on him, and then he couldn't get out of there fast enough?
Yeah. Your boy Alan says he wants to start a micro betting for the show. How quickly do I have to drink? Over under on bathroom breaks for Dave. How many chickens does Kevin eat? How late will Andrew be? I mean, you could micro bet that. We could micro bet a lot of stuff on this show.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, Alan.
I like it.
All right. So I got to drink.
Take your shot.
All right, here we go.
Wait, let me switch the. All right. Roll.
Ooh. Oh, that Jaeger, man! I forgot that was. That is some foulness. That fire hits, boy. Yeah, it's just so gross. Jaeger is gross.
It's medicine, though.
It's
medicine? You sound like my grandma. Give me my medicine. It was Evan Williams.
Give me a quick rating.
It's an 8. It's disgusting. Jaeger's disgusting enough. Who at the Jaeger office was like, you know what would make Jaeger worse?
Probably some German. Some Oppenheimer.
Germans. Can't trust any of the Germans. All right, let's get to Andrew. Your mock draft, Andrew.
You guys are going
to. You did it. Oh my God. People hated mine. They actually liked Dave's a lot. ChatGPT. They thought it was clever and cute. It did. By the way, Dave, your ChatGPT draft, highest downloads this offseason. I thought about not telling you that.
Seriously?
Yes. Seriously. 1,350 downloads. By a lot. I didn't want to tell you that because I know you get a big head about things.
Let's go.
So Andrew, you didn't do anything at 9. You didn't trade up or anything. You just stood at 9.
Yeah.
So who's available at 9?
This was a tough one, actually. Thomas, you can unveil the available players, please. This was a tough one. I feel like there's a justifiable case for taking all these guys. Obviously, the Saints need a quarterback, so Shedeur is there at 9. Ashton Genty, the running back, out of Boise State.
Wait a minute. How are these guys available still at 9? What were the settings on your draft?
McMillan's there. These are all options, and then I looked at the picks that went 1 through 8, and it was all like, yep, I could see that happening. Like, it's not inconceivable. Like, Genty falling was a little surprising, and Tyler Warren too. But like the guys that went ahead, I think there was a tackle that went ahead after Campbell that I was a little surprised by. yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't like, oh, there's no way this is happening. This is ridiculous. The other guy, Will Johnson, was still available, the cornerback from Michigan. And so I feel like you can make a justifiable case for him too. So there really were 5 players here where I was like, I could really go with any of these. So this was a tough call. Go ahead and reveal the pick, Thomas.
Them already? You're not asking other guys who they would have picked?
Yeah, I mean, what do you? Yeah. Do you guys?
I have an opinion. My opinion would be, I feel like if this was the actual, if this is the way it fell to us, I feel like this is prime trade down position. Surely somebody's going to want Shedeur or Genty
or something. Yeah.
I think
if this was me, if this was real life, I'd be like, trade the fuck down.
If this is real life, Kevin, I really believe teams will be calling about Genty. The question that I would have is like, is Genty so high on the Saints board that he would be like, I think it's conceivable that he's like top 3 player on their board. Would the Saints be like, we're not trading down and getting an extra 4th round pick and not picking the dude who's 3rd on our board? Like, that's what I think the discussion would be. I think the Saints would probably take Genty, but they'd be getting, me and you would be enraged because they probably get some really juicy offers for him, I think.
Evan, your thoughts?
Oh, deception!
Don't disappoint me, Juja.
Juja Oppenheimer, 20 buckaroo, super chat.
Yeah, I would be with Dave. I would immediately be looking for the phone.
Yeah,
and seeing who's
shocker that you would say that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, now look, those 4 guys sitting in front of me, I'm taking Ty Warren.
Okay.
Oh, deception!
Cheers to our 2025 rebuild.
Then 28.3 donation from Maxi Hudat. It's been a while since we had the 28-3 donation, by the way.
We always love the 28-3 donation. Thank you, Maxi Hudat. So, all right, reveal the pick, Thomas.
All right, the pick is in. For the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Ashton Genty, running back, Boise State.
Yeah, you know, guys, I feel like I went against everything that I hold dear in terms of principles. Like taking a running back in the top 10, I would never do it.
Look at the highlights.
In some ways, I hate this decision, and yet I saw what Saquon Barkley did in the Kellen Moore offense last year.
Look at this.
And I'm just like, when you were to ask me, like, who are the best toys that Kellen Moore has in this offense, you've got a concussed Olave, you've got a broken Taysom Hill, you've got an ACL-less Shaheed, and you have Alvin Kamara, who's 30, and I don't really want Alvin Kamara chasing 1,000 yards. So that leaves me with Genty. Like, let's get this offensive guru. If he's really as special as I think he might be, let's give him a toy to play with. And who knows, maybe having no quarterback, maybe we can survive it and win a couple games if we have a superstar running back.
This Kevin is interesting because if this scenario happened, I don't think it would, but it would really put Saints Twitter in a bind because the 2 darlings of Saints Twitter are Shedeur and Genty. Like, I think if you polled Saints Twitter, those would be the 2 most popular people that they love the most. It would really put them in a bind. Which one do you take? I love this pick because it would, the draft nerds, the analysts, it would infuriate them. Like if the Saints took a running back when they don't have a healthy quarterback on their roster that's any good, it would infuriate this would give people, the Barnwells, D+ for this pick. Maybe C if they're lucky. I kind of love it though. Kevin, it'll move a lot of jerseys. The Genty jerseys.
Oh wow, Ralph is complimenting my draft. Okay.
Are you seeing any of that money? if they move an extra 50 units on the jerseys, Ralph? I mean, I don't
We
give
can
a
put
damn if they
Amazon
move
links
units.
on the description maybe and get.
I don't care if they move units. All I care about is will this person make an immediate impact? Can they make an immediate impact?
Yes.
And can they help the team win?
Yes.
This is a possible impact player. This is an impact. I'll remove possible. This is an impact player. With this team, the way it is constituted, I don't know that he can make the kind of impact that he can make.
Especially without
like you said, there's no quarterback worth a damn on the team right now that's not injured. The offensive line, we already know what that is. We just said you already ran through Olave, Shaheed, Taysom, Kamara's, over 30, even though he's still good. It's like, okay, we're gonna give the ball to this guy who looks like he was carved out of rock.
Interception!
Disappointed. So disappointed, he is going to run behind hopes and dreams.
Open Heart! Disappointed in Juge taking us over the edge again.
Yeah, like it's.
What do we have here, Ralph? Some banana?
This guy looks amazing.
100 proof.
Ew.
100 proof.
Genty looks amazing. The highlights
100
look
proof?
amazing.
Holy shit.
I'm just worried that he's gonna come to this team and he's gonna die a death.
I don't know what I'm torn, Dave, because now that he's got a running back, I'm torn. Does he need to go quarterback the rest of the way, or does he need to all linemen at 40, 71, and 93, just all
Quarterback the rest of the way, meaning draft the quarterback
linemen
with
the
his
rest of the
remaining
way.
picks?
All
Yeah,
offensive
but you
linemen.
did say quarterback.
I don't think.
I think the Jaeger brew is starting to kick in.
I think the ship has sailed on a quarterback in the draft now. Like, I don't think you're going to draft a quarterback in the second or third round that's going to be your starter.
Dave. Just you wait.
Oh my.
Wait, but serious question. Did you guys see when Deion Sanders retweeted that guy from ESPN when he said that 9th pick is going to be all kinds of interesting?
Yeah, that's right.
And then Deion quote tweeted it with the eyeball emoji. What the hell does that mean? I'm only bringing this up because Shedeur Sanders was available in your board.
That means Saints are trading up.
Saints Twitter's coming after you, Juge. You didn't take Shedeur.
I mean,
maybe, but you picked Genty, so they might let you slide.
Yeah, but I mean, what are we reading into that?
I think Deion
doesn't know anything. He's the kid's dad. He doesn't control who picks his son.
I don't think he controls who picks his son, Andrew, but I think Deion knows that it could be a struggle to get Shedeur picked in the first round, and he's trying to get him picked anywhere in the first round that he can.
Well, sure,
I think it means that the Saints have been talking to Shedeur and telling him, hey, we really like you, and it's a possibility that...
There's no way they're going to tell him, hey, we're taking you at 9. There's no way they're going to do that. No chance.
It's not the NBA.
Even if they're dead set on taking him at 9, there's no way they're calling Big Mouth Deion and being like, hey, we're going to take him at 9.
Yeah.
There is less than 0 chance they're doing that.
All right.
I'm not saying that they would say 100% yes, we're taking you. I'm just saying they could be
like you. We want to date.
They could be saying, hey, we really, really, really like your son Shedeur.
We really like you. Here we go.
Look, this might all be a
and he's definitely an option.
It might be lying, but I heard they have a 2nd round grade on Shedeur.
Rob cannot wait to drink it, I can see.
I can. Pineapple. Here we go.
Also, while Rob's drinking, thanks to Rob Norton for $5 donation via Stream Elements.
I think Rob just signed up today to become a patron.
Damn.
Nice.
Thank you, Rob. Here we go.
Shout out to Rob Norton. Oh, it looks worse than the Jaeger.
Whoa. That hit.
If you're not watching the video version, you're missing out, guys.
That is a 9er.
That's a Malort like. Damn.
We just had a first ever full reversal of fortune.
Oh.
I literally had to force it all the way back down. It tasted worse the second time. Oh, 9. My eyes. Oh.
Whew. All right. 9 it is. Damn.
Are we doing a mailbag after this?
We are. And I'll be drunk.
So was the third drink just in case?
Third drink can be dealer's choice. I don't want to touch the wire, but I have a giant box from Who Dat Golfer.
Not
On the other side of the computer.
Not
Dealer's
Malort?
choice. Wow, that's
I got Malort. Yeah, I do.
You're gonna,
But I
you're
got
gonna,
other kind of options from Who Dat Golf. I mean, from
you're gonna stick your hand in Who Dat Golfer's box.
Ooh, no, it's not Who Dat. It's Saints Rabbits box. Who Dat Golfer sent me a ton of stuff. We've gone through
Oh,
it.
you're gonna stick your hand in Saints Rabbit's box.
That's right.
Hey,
Let's
Sally,
see
I need
Saints Rabbits.
assistance.
I do need assistance. So let's get to pick 40.
You gonna dig deep in there, or in his box?
okay.
3 fingers. Pick 40. Pick 40. What do we got going on here?
Oh, I thought you wanted.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Tell the people-
He's still available.
Shedeur,
Door.
look like
Shedeur is falling. Nobody wants that bitch.
A lot of teams have second and third
That's
round
right.
grades on Shedeur Sanders.
They do.
It's not that crazy.
It's not. I saw today Albert Breer said a lot of teams don't think he's going to go in the first round, but you got
Thomas, you messed this up.
So what do we have? We have Shedeur.
Tyler Shuck should not be up here. He's not one of the top 4 best available. That's not what I sent you.
No.
But he's on there. So we got Tyler Shuck,
No, fix it.
Gray Zabel, and Derek Harmon. You know, this is the thing. Andrew did this little okie doke thing.
You're missing Donovan Azariaku. He should be.
The edge defender from Boston College.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Andrew's finagled this to where, Andrew, you're tired of being like the bad guy on the show. You're going to give Saints Twitter the draft of their dreams. You're going to give them Genty at 9, Shedeur at 40, and Saints Twitter is going to take back all the mean things that they said about Mickey Loomis for years and years, and they're going to praise him, and they're going to be super excited. They're going to get their running back. They're going to get their quarterback, and you're going to go viral, giving them the draft of their dreams. That's what you're doing here, isn't it?
Well,
I would take Gray Zabel here.
So
Is this called the Bougie draft because you had the settings set to easy mode?
No, I didn't. But I will say this. Well, first of all, Thomas screwed up because Tyler Shuck was not supposed to be on here, so he buried my punchline. He screwed up my punchline. But I was going to say these are the 4 best players available, including Shedeur Sanders, and I will be taking none of them because I am taking Tyler Shuck.
No, Commissioner announced.
Damn, I thought you forgot. That's why I included him. Like, I was surprised you forgot to.
No, it was on purpose.
Include him. That was on purpose. Then you should have,
Yep.
You should have let Thomas in on the joke.
Yeah. Right.
Commissioner announced the pick.
Well, don't blow it at 93 again, Thomas.
We're doing it again. Okay, got it.
Announce the pick, Commissioner.
All right.
Can we get some more money so that Ralph can dig deep
40th pick in
Saints draft?
2025 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select Tyler Shaw, quarterback from
Christ,
Louisville.
So, obviously he's
Christ,
6'5". He's the prototype, right? When you look at just his arm strength, his size, he's been injured a lot. I have been told
Saints
that the
Twitter
Saints
is gonna
have
come
a
for
first
you.
round grade. I've been told the Saints have a first round grade on Tyler Shuck. Now, do they actually? Is it a smokescreen? Like, we'll find out. But my sources have told me that they really, really, really like this guy, and that he may be as high as the number 2 graded quarterback for them. I think they have a first round grade on him. And if they were to trade down, I don't think they'd take him at 9 necessarily. But if they were to trade down, I think this is the guy. I think this is the guy that the Saints like. And there's your quarterback of the future. Now, is he going to play this year? Probably not. But, you take him at 40, you let him compete with Rattler, and let's see what happens.
Saints Twitter has something to tell you, Juge. Play that soundbite, Thomas.
All right.
You lost your Mine? What are you doing?
That's Saints Twitter to you, Juge. That is Saints Twitter to you. I worry for your safety. You might have to go and witness. Do they have witness protection in Charlottesville? Because you may need it if the Saints do.
Good
If
question.
the Saints do this, my God, if they pass on Shedeur not once but twice, my God, are you telling us, Juge, that they might pick Shuck? It's not. It's even though it's Shuck. Like an oyster, like you shuck an oyster.
Yeah.
They might pick him in
That
the
is
first
weird.
round.
What's that heritage?
I don't know if they have like the 9th overall. I think that would be a reach. I think that would be. But yeah, if they were to trade back to 17, then I think that pick is in play. I do.
Kevin, could you live
Could
with
they-
that?
Well, let me say this honestly. If this was the situation, then the Saints should really trade down for somebody who wants Shedeur. They could probably get this guy Tyler at 71, maybe.
Probably
don't know
nobody
about
wants Shedeur. That's why he's falling. Come on, man.
I
Who
think
would trade out
there's
for
more
him?
than one NFL
Think
team
about
that
that.
has a first round grade on Shuck. I think he'll go by the second round for sure.
Okay, all right.
He's got a second round grade.
Well, either way, you could still trade down and trade back into later
Round
in the
one.
second round and still maybe get him.
I
Maybe.
think there's potential, Dave, that like Ward is the only quarterback taken in round 1, and round 2, the Jets, the Browns, the Giants, they're all lined up to take the quarterbacks. And if the Saints, they might panic, and you might have to get it in the end of round 1 or get to Tennessee at pick 1. And of course, that would anger Kevin. But Kevin, my question before we get to pick 71, how would you feel if the Saints traded down to like 17, 18 and took Mr. Shook at like 18 in the first round, but the Saints finally did what you wanted them to do and traded down? How would you feel about that?
I'd still be moderately happy overall because they did trade down. I'd want to see the haul. I'd want to know what they got for trading down that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're moving from 9 to 18, you're probably getting a pretty nice haul.
You're getting at least like a second round pick and a fourth round pick. Oh,
Yeah. 18, I think, is the Bengals. I can't remember who has 17.
Dave, I think this could get you sold for Mr. Shuck. Nola Fredo has a great t-shirt idea. Truly shucked.
What does that mean? I don't get it.
I don't know. Truly. It wouldn't make. I guess it wasn't a great t-shirt idea.
I was thinking we could go more with. I mean, the seafood thing. Like shuck the heads, pinch the tail, shuck the head.
Oh yeah.
Or something with oysters. But the name Shuck definitely has some t-shirt potential.
Or shuck you, Andre Juge.
Yeah. Or shuck you, Andrew Juge. Yeah. Shuck you for picking me, Andrew Juge.
All right. What do we got at pick 71, Andrew?
Shuck the Falcons.
Reveal the best players available, please, for our third round pick. Pick number 71.
Yeah,
All right,
you can read the first one, Ralph, and second two.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
and
You can read all of them.
Yeah. Why don't you give these names your best stat?
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. You can go to hell. Carson Schweisinger, JT Tyler defensive end, Ohio State. Xavier Watts, that's an easy one. Jonah Saiva Inania, offensive tackle, Arizona. I mean,
Ralph
this
can't
is
say
not-
his name right.
That's got to be Savainea.
That is his nightmare fuel.
Oh, yeah.
3 of
His
the
name
4
is Derek.
guys here for me.
Yeah. So, look, I think there's a few different ways you can go here. If you go running back, quarterback to start the draft, and you watch this defense at all last year, you got to throw a bone to your defensive coordinator if you're Kellen Moore. You're like, all right, we got to go on the other side of the ball here. I've hooked myself up with hopefully my quarterback of the future, or at least a nice developmental project, and a running back that's like a day one impact. So we gotta hook up the other side of the football.
I think, though, here's the question, Kevin. They need a defensive end. because Cam Jordan's getting old. But if they aren't going to pick up Trevor Penning's option, I feel like offensive tackle is kind of a must with one of these 4 picks. So
but here's the thing.
Torn with this.
Here's the thing. Jonah Savanea can play, is projected to be a guard at the next.
He goes both ways.
Yes. So honestly, I would be looking at taking him because you got a running back, you've drafted a quarterback. You need to improve the offensive line. Like, tell whoever you tell the DC, hang on, man. If we can't create gaps for this running back, and if we can't protect this guy trying to throw the ball,
and by the way, he's injury prone as hell. Shuck is
anyway.
Shuck is injury prone, very injury prone.
All right, Thomas, let's see the pick.
Yeah.
Roger that. The pick is in. The 71st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select JT Tuimoloau, defensive end from the Ohio State.
Guys, it's not a proper Saints mock draft without an Ohio State player.
It's not.
We all know this. I mean, come on. This was the most obvious pick. The Saints have said, look, we want to build through the offensive and defensive lines. And look, defensive end, like, let's call it what it is. It sucks. Like, yes, we brought Chase Young back, but like Cam Jordan's cooked. Granderson is a decent role player, but then after that, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, we're hoping Foskey Bear can figure it out. But first of all, I was shocked that Tuimoloau, is that how you would say that? I'm not going to ask you, Ralph. But yeah. I mean, he had 12 and a half sacks last year. He's a Raz god.
No way he's here.
He especially caught fire in the last few games of the season in the college playoffs. So I don't really see him falling to 71. I was very surprised to see him here. It felt like tremendous value. I don't know if he's going to be here, but if he did, like, that's a sprint to the podium situation, I think. And you really do improve your defensive line, get a guy that can rush off the edge. You get your Ohio State guy, and this feels like a no-brainer.
Dave, your boy Alan makes a great point. Are we okay buying our defensive end off of Temu? Is that a good idea?
Off of Temu?
Yeah, is a good idea?
Well, what do you mean buying? I mean, drafting? Is
because he's getting. You want to get things off of Temu.
He doesn't like this pick, I guess. I don't know enough about this guy to honestly to.
You should ask ChatGPT.
Say yes or no.
Ask ChatGPT if it's a good pick at 71.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. All right.
Some people want a
71?
linebacker, Andrew, surprisingly. They say linebacker's going to be devastated soon with no answers. CJ Mosley, they want to get CJ Mosley in free agency. CJ Mosley's like 100 years old.
Yeah.
But I got to say, Kevin, I don't like to give Andrew compliments because it just, but this is I kind of like this draft. Like, I kind of like it. Like, if he could figure out something at offensive line at 93, I really like it. He'll screw it up.
I can tell you that there should be at least one option at 93.
All right, let's see it
on the offensive line.
Let's see it.
All right.
All right, so we got 4 available. We got Demetrius Knight, linebacker, South Carolina. Isaiah Bond, wide receiver, Alabama. Josiah Stewart, defensive end, Michigan. And Ozzie Trapillo, offensive tackle, BC, son of former Saint Steve Trapillo.
Yeah, well, you're stealing my material, Ralph. But yeah, Thomas blew it again. I was going to have a surprise reveal. We're missing Wyatt Millen, who would have been number 4 on the best available. Yeah, I mean, look, Isaiah Bond, you could go receiver here. A lot of you were talking about linebacker. That would be an option. Josiah Stewart obviously probably makes a little bit less sense since he's a defensive end, and we just took that at 71. So, yeah, there are some options here. I don't know if you guys have any opinion on who we should go with.
I just feel like
Kevin's disappointed.
Here's the thing.
No trade downs? What the fuck is this? Come on, man.
Here's the thing.
That's disgraceful, man.
I just find it hard to believe that I don't think any of these players are going to be available at these slots. Like, this draft would be amazing, but like, it would also be amazing if both my hands work. Like, but it's not possible. Like, I just feel like this. I don't know. Like this.
I think these guys could easily be there.
I don't know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Isaiah Bond is a 5'11" wide receiver. Josiah Stewart, as I think if I remember correctly, he's like a 6'1" defensive end. Demetrius Knight, I don't know if he'll be there at 93.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good pick. Like, out of those four, he's the best of that bunch.
Yeah. Isaiah Bond has like a sexual assault case right now.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Ozzie Trapillo.
When has that ever stopped you from drafting somebody, Andrew?
Ozzie Trapillo.
You literally waited on somebody who was in jail.
He's gonna fit right in with your son, Juge.
I kind of.
Anywho, Ozzie Trapillo. I'm not vibing with. Like, if the guy Juge mentioned, Wyatt Millum, he's listed as a tackle, but he's supposed to be a guard in the NFL. That's the guy that you should be taking at 93.
Well,
that is an
option, yeah. The offensive linemen that you could take here are Millen and Ozzie Trapillo. Yep.
Andrew, it's still jarring that you can mention any name in the draft and Kevin can just spout off measurements, their position versatility,
dick size,
boom. Like all of it. Like, he knows all of it. It's still 4 years in of him being our draft expert. It's still jarring. But anyway, Thomas, give us the pick.
I am correct. Josiah Stewart, 6'1", 245.
Yeah,
wow.
Very weird.
All right, reveal the pick.
Right. Reveal the pick, Thomas.
The 93rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New Orleans Saints select Ozzie Trapillo, offensive tackle from Boston College.
You made Kevin mad.
Okay, so here's the thing. Ralph said, if I get an offensive lineman with this last pick, I'm really going to love this draft. So, Ralph, I'm delivering for you. This is a legacy pick. If you're my age, you'll remember Steve Trapillo, R.I.P. He was a pretty solid guard for the Saints. So his dad,
is he dead?
He's dead. Yep. Ozzie Trapillo's dad, Steve, played for the Saints as a guard for the Saints. Ozzie is 6'8", and he's probably a right tackle in the league. And if you look at his measurement, obviously he's absolutely massive. But the thing to really like about him is he's got pretty good technique. He's a pretty good player. And really the big thing that's missing from his game is just upper body strength. So they're saying that he's about 10 pounds light, and then he could use some weight and gain a little bit of weight. And like, of all the things from a prospect, when you look at offensive linemen in particular, the thing that always scares me the least is he needs to add a little bit of weight, because all the prospects are going to do that in the NFL. They're going to gain strength. They're going to work at their craft. They're going to be in an NFL weight room. They're going to be committed to building, not that they don't do that in college, but it's just they're going to get in a more refined regimen, and they're going to get nutrition dialed in. So I just feel like that's the least of my concerns when it's this guy needs to gain some weight. And so, look, I think Ozzie Trapillo needs to grow into his body. But anytime you get a guy that's NFL lineage, whose dad has played in the league, I think from a young age, he was given kind of the advice about how to kind of develop his craft. And when you look at the Saints at right tackle, right, we have, I don't know that Trapillo is going to be your guy this year, but Penning remains a massive question mark at right tackle. And at a minimum, you have a guy breathing down his neck who's creating some competition. And hopefully in a year, you can walk from Penning if we're getting more of the same from that player, because we've developed in Trapillo a guy that can take over at right tackle.
Dave, it disgusts me how much I like this draft. It really does. It really does.
Oh, you like it?
I
guess that's not surprising.
I think if there were things I would admit, like, look, there's other positions I would like. Like, I would have loved to have gotten like a possession receiver or a tight end. It would have been nice to get a corner. So there's a lot of things that I didn't do here, but I just feel like no matter what the Saints do with these 4 picks, like, you're going to live with regrets because there's too many holes on the roster. But I tried to fill them as best as I could.
Yeah.
I think it could be.
You best come hard.
I think it could be improved upon. I think I would probably trade down at number 9 instead of taking Genty. I think I'd probably trade down. I'd maybe get somebody else. Then you could
Get some
probably
help.
Then you could probably still get Tyler Shuck with whatever extra pick you get, and so I don't know. I think it could have maybe maximized it a little bit more. But I mean, the picks themselves aren't horrible. I don't hate.
Would you? I know what Kevin.
And if what you say, I mean, the thing is, like, if what Andrew says is correct, like if that's actual legit information, and like they really do like Tyler Shuck and they like him more than even a Shedeur Sanders, and they go and they draft this guy, if they draft Tyler Shuck, Andrew wins the mock draft contest for sure.
I know I'm not going to ask Kevin this because I know his answer, but Andrew, if I told you you can't have Genty, but you can have another top 60 pick, would you rather the extra top 60 pick or would you rather Genty?
Genty.
Interesting. I just
your
case about how much holes they have, it makes me think.
Look, I mean, if you told me that they would move down from 9 to, let's call it 11, right? And at 11 they get, let's say, the corner for Michigan.
Will Johnson. Yeah.
Yep. Will Johnson or Ty Warren, like they get one of those two at 11, and you get another top 60 pick, then yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with that trade. My fear is that you drop too much, and some of these guys in this cloud of 5 that we were looking at 9, they're all gone. And so maybe you're taking Shuck at 17 instead of 40, right? And then you got the extra pick at 60, but it's like, was that really worth it? That's where I start.
Oh, shucks.
I don't know.
By the way, you asked me to ask ChatGPT about JT Tuimoloau. Yes, him. Strengths, power, edge rusher, high motor, sets a strong edge for his run, flashes disruptive ability, weaknesses, needs to develop more pass rush moves, can be streaky as a pass rusher. They basically came up with like a draft decision matrix, which weights roster need, talent, scheme, positional value. They gave him a 4.6 out of 5, which means the verdict is yes. They should draft him at number 71. He fits the Saints' long-term edge plan, gives you a future starter, and adds immediate rotational value at pick 71. That's a premium value for a premium position.
Look,
premium. Wow, I hate you. All right, so that was it was a great draft. We still got Kevin's draft to go next week. It's just,
that's going to be interesting.
Get ready for some trade downs.
Kevin
block out an extra hour for that one, folks.
Basically, guys, spoiler alert. Kevin is going to trade down so many times that I predict he will have the entirety of the 3rd round. There'll be no first round picks There'll be no second round picks, but he will have traded down so many times that picks 1 through 32 in the third round will all belong to the Saints.
Wow.
Right.
Crabs only.
And the Saints don't even have the ability to sign all of them.
That's right.
The boos have hit me really hard tonight. The mailbag's going to get interesting, Dave. Before we get the mailbag, the Saints Happy Hour viewer questions are brought to you by Hard Hide Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. You can pick up a bottle wherever fine spirits are sold in Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, and Tennessee. To learn more and to find a location to get a bottle near you, go to hardhidestrawberrywhiskey.com. Thomas, play Take It to the Top.
Roger that.
Wheels are coming off. What's first up, Thomas?
All right, so many amazing questions lately. Good job, guys. And first question comes from Ali Marino, the usual suspect, lately stealing the spotlight from Saints Rabbit in the questions channel. He asks, which are we likely to have first? Ralph's intervention for drinking or Ralph's intervention for degenerate gambling? Can we have the intervention at the next live show?
Wow. If we have an intervention,
Gambling.
will it be like The Sopranos? Y'all all have like handwritten notes that you read to me. I don't know. You can. I mean, maybe I should say like the intervention. Like I don't gamble as much as I used to. Like having a kid and a mortgage and all that. Like it's like my gambling is way, way, way down. Like pre-child Ralph was gambling reckless during the football season. Now, not so much. But then again, Texas could legalize online gambling, and I could need an intervention. Could go.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like Ralph's penchant for panicking the second that a player has like missed practice because of a thumb, a thumbnail has caused a player to miss a practice. And the calls and texts I get from Ralph and me, he might be out for the season. They're sunk, Andrew. They're sunk. It's over. His panic over the injury report is what needs an intervention. That to me is a much bigger problem.
No lies detected there. Not a one.
The drinking.
Ralph's addiction to panicking.
The drinking is much more unhealthy.
Panic addict.
I don't know, man.
I'm still
the
here,
injury
Dave.
report causes Ralph a lot of stress.
Yeah. I'm still here, Dave. I don't see the problem with the drinking. I'm not overweight. Well, yeah, I am. Technically, they told me that I was.
Andrew, right. Like the gambling causes a lot of stress, but then he drinks and the stress goes away. But the drinking, so he doesn't have stress from gambling. He just has the effects from the drinking.
Yeah, no more gas station bets, Ali Marino said. I don't know. If I could...
Wait, no more gas station what?
Bets, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying... My gambling is way down, is what I'm saying. If you want to have I think Andrew's right. Intervention over the injury report. That would be very helpful to me. Thomas, what's next?
All right, next question from Blake Zicken, our favorite Pokemon. He asks, how did Derek Carr injure his shoulder? Wrong answers only. I will start. He pulled too hard on the refrigerator door.
I think he doesn't know how to drive he doesn't know how to drive a stick shift, and he injured himself doing one of those cars on cars dumbass videos that he's.
I say he tried emulating Drew Brees too much.
He injured it playing basketball with my son and his friends at their school last year with Foster
Dave,
Moore.
I mean, you guys are all wrong. The correct answer is he injured it putting on guy liner.
That's the winner. Thomas, what's next?
Okay, that was a quick one. Next question, the final question of the show. From the man, the myth, the legend himself. From Holland. or some cold
Uh-oh.
Netherlands.
Uh-oh.
Monadula.
Oh.
He asks, Mincy reincarnated as a cat and followed Max home. Where is the cat now? We need a cat update.
Okay, so for people that's not aware, a cat followed Max home. A cat followed Max home from school, and we have 3 cats, and my wife is like, we're not having a 4th cat. So we brought the cat to the shelter. The cat happily was adopted because it's adorable. They named it Smokey.
Right. Yada, yada, yada. Monadula.
Oh, no way.
Monadula, don't ever eat at China Star restaurant in Houston.
That's right. Wow.
Jesus.
Did you check for the chip, Ralph?
Yeah, it was no chip. No chip.
Mm.
That,
Sure?
That cat knows that living in the Marlboro house is like 5-star living for cats. And he wanted to be here, but
You could smell it on Max.
He could smell the happiness. But no, when my wife was done with that, we no more. We're not adding to the cats. We're trying to wait for cats to go to the cat heaven. We're trying to reduce.
I mean, it's probably true. Ralph probably hasn't done laundry in 2 months, so.
I mean, 2 months. Try since the Bush administration. Like, I'm not allowed to do laundry. I'm not allowed to clean. I'm not allowed to do.
Do you even know how to set up the washing machine?
No, I can fold. Occasionally, I can fold simple things
with one hand.
That's it. Yeah, with one hand.
Wait, how can you fold laundry?
You put it on the ground and you do it.
Yeah,
I can do it. Like simple things.
Okay.
Like you know.
Does Selly leave Max's clothes out for him?
No, but he's still too lazy to go get them, so we have to like go get them out the drawer. And she's leaving. She's going to New York for a week, Dave. All my clothes for the whole time that she's gone.
Are prepackaged?
Yeah, pre-laid out.
It's like, what do they call that? Meal prepping? It's
meal prepping. It's clothes prep. It's all
wardrobe prepping.
Yeah, wardrobe prepping.
You need to take a picture, you know. And they named like Monday, you know.
Does she prepackage Max's clothes too, like that?
Well,
when she goes away?
She did. She hung them all up.
Every drawer has a name, like Monday, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wow. Is she just type A, or does she just really think that low of you that you really can't figure any of this out on your own?
Yes. The answer is yes. It's yes.
Alde Mourinho wants a love update, Kevin.
Kevin, give us a love update before we get out of here.
I swear to God, if you sang "I'm on Fire" by Bruce Springsteen at karaoke, I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, I did not sing. "I'm on Fire." What the hell did I sing? I know I sang. Oh shoot!
Oh boy!
I sang "SOB" by Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and then I sang "Elderly Woman Behind the Counter in a Small Town" by
I seem to recognize.
That's a little slow.
Yeah,
but it worked. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying there.
You picking up what I'm putting down?
You went into Saints Rabbit's box.
Okay.
I did not go into that particular box. Went into a different box altogether.
Oh, that's a shame.
You know, people were asking earlier. It's like, why wasn't Kevin? You know, why isn't Kevin? Eating anything on the podcast? And it's just like, look, I've been dining out well.
There you go.
Oh, because she's paying.
Kevin Jr. on the way.
That I don't have to eat anything right now on the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Because she's paying.
No, Dave.
Are you a male gigolo?
Oh. I want you to see these, and I want you to read between them. Okay?
You keep on kissing babies and hugging fat girls.
I really missed that one.
Oh boy.
I thought maybe. Well, I thought maybe you would have said instead of eating chicken, you switched to fish.
Tuna
or beef.
I'm not a big fish guy.
Wait, beef.
Beef. Wait.
What?
Hit the breaking
roast
news
beef.
siren. So this
Anyway, so you're still seeing this young lady.
Yes, I'm still seeing this young lady, the lady that I went to karaoke with a few weeks ago.
we're going to do karaoke again.
Yeah, we'll probably do karaoke again at some point.
Is this her
They're
thing?
gonna fuck each other
is that
next.
her?
She enjoys karaoke. It's not an every weekend thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
she
Is
enjoys
she
it.
listening to the podcast right now?
No, she's not listening to the podcast.
How many dates you went with her with?
Like 4.
Jesus.
Okay.
4
All right.
dates?
Yeah.
And no, you know, baby making?
And
Jesus.
It hasn't ended yet.
Jesus. Christ.
Kevin's sneaking over into. It's like Hollywood Squares. It's like Hollywood Squares.
I'm gonna leave it like that.
I wish we could. It's like Brady Bunch. I wish I could do that. I wish I could go over.
Oh man.
I wish I could grab Kevin. Did we just lose Ralph altogether, or just his video?
Ralph went for the violin and he messed up the webcam, man.
What did
Amazing.
I don't. I mean,
Ralph touched the wire. Oh, he's coming back.
Okay, he
touched
should
the
be
wire.
coming back.
He
Anyway,
messed
so that's the
Kevin's
one
I
setup.
apologize.
Some things never change.
What? Oh, Jason Champagne wants to know what round would I draft her in? She is a
You
high
have to
third
trade
round
down-
pick.
Trade down for her?
that's it.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right. So
She's a
below
high
average?
third, a definite starter.
Okay.
She's a definite starter in the league.
Nice job, Ralph.
Did you guys see? Did you see on? Well, no, you're using a different camera now, though.
To the
Ralph.
old webcam we
Yeah.
go.
Who cares?
Better
That's
this
all he's
than no
got.
webcam.
That's all we got, man. What do you want?
I saw on Saints Reddit, instead of doing random Saint of the Week, somebody posted this cool article from the Times Pick from like 1986. It was an article saying that Superdome officials were not going to enforce the new no smoking ban because they were worried that fans, if they told fans not to
Jesus.
smoke, they'd get pissed off and they'd fight back.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
I love
back
that.
in
I wish they should bring that back. You should be able to smoke in the Superdome again.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, why not?
No,
I mean,
no. That's
I mean,
mean-
smoking is bad, man.
How about this? Let's compromise.
Yeah.
How about you have a smoking section and a non-smoking section?
those don't work, Dave.
They could work in the Superdome.
I mean, back in the day, Dave, we'll probably get back
They
to
work
it.
in Polish trains.
They used to have fights in the Superdome all the time when the Saints in the 90s. Whew. It was WrestleMania type fights then.
Wait, what are the smoking laws in Poland, Thomas?
I don't know if there are any. Like, you cannot smoke in public places, I guess. Again, you cannot smoke on the bus stops. Like, I don't care about it that much because I don't smoke, so you know. I never smoke.
All right, Thomas, give us a recap so we can get out of here and I can try to jiggle the wire again. Maybe my camera will start working for next week.
Can't you turn on the worst webcam?
No, I don't know. It's totally FUBAR. Just recap the donations.
Nice, man. The golden hand of Ralph strikes again. Touching the
golden hand.
touching the wire. Ralph's a Midas, but in reverse. All right. So as you can see, guys, thanks for reaching the donation goal. Again, we are on an 88-week donation streak. We have 16 weeks to go. Only 3 months away. That's correct. Thanks to everyone who donated. Thanks to
it's April, May, June, July. We'll be by right after July 4th. We will be this close to actually seeing Ralph's splayed out hand in sexy poses on his own personal OnlyFans account.
If he makes his camera work. So
I think maybe that's the thing. So maybe the first post should be his hand holding like a sparkler that's like lit up.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it. All right, let me thank everyone. Thanks to Rob Norton, we had so many different donators. Thanks to Jason Champagne, to your boy Alan, to Maxi Hudat, to Hudat Golfer, and to the MVP with 70 buckaroos, who is... Oh, let me play the soundbite, I forgot. The one and only Too Late Hater Oppenheimer! Congratulations!
You can't see me clap, Oppenheimer, but I promise you I
I'm not even wearing anything Tulane today.
Tomas, when you make the wheel at the end of this for the spin, you should break it up so that way it's not all one giant section of Oppenheimer and then a sliver for Justin Leanders and then a sliver for Hatchet John. Like divide the pie up so it is equal to 5 slots for Oppenheimer, 1 for it should be divided up like that.
Does it matter really? I don't know.
Well, yeah, because there's I think so.
Still an equal chance whether I divide it or not. I don't know, man.
I apologize for trying to play the violin. I need to put the violin in a non-wire.
We need a violin for your webcam now.
Andrew he just has the little 2 dots. Oh shit! It's got the failed to start camera, but at the bottom it just got the little 2 dots circling one another. And when Ralph talks, it's almost like the computer has taken on sentient life, and that the symbol for Ralph talking are these 2 dots just going in a circle.
Yeah, it's bad times. It's bad times. So anyway,
Ralph
guys,
traded his webcam for the violin.
That's right. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'm drunk. If I was sober, I could probably get the camera back on working, but I'm not, so I can't. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the show and we made you laugh, consider supporting the show so I can always have a camera that works. Go to patreon.com/saintshappyhour. Give us a shot. Every little bit helps to make the show a little bit better. And don't forget to follow us on socials wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks to Dave, Andrew, Thomas, the best producer on earth, run the show in Poland, and Kevin for showing up. I'm out of sorts and drunk. Until next time, the bar is closed.